Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
I used to believe love was about trust, about comfort in the presence of another soul. But with Melissa, comfort had an extra shadow, a tall, smug, ever-present figure named Bradley. From the start, I tried to convince myself he was harmless. "We've been best friends since college," she'd say, smiling, brushing off my unease. But best friends didn't have spare keys to our apartment. Best friends didn't show up unannounced at midnight, holding wine and inside jokes I was never part of. One evening, I came home from work to find them laughing on the couch. Bradley's arm draped over the backrest behind her, fingers dangerously close to her hair. They were watching something, tears of laughter in their eyes. I stood there in the doorway, unseen for a moment, the sound of their laughter burning through me like acid. "Oh hey, babe," Melissa finally noticed me. "Bradley just came to show me this hilarious video." I forced a smile. He has impeccable timing as always. Bradley grinned, smug. "You don't mind, right? I figured you'd be home later." "I live here, Bradley," I said quietly. The humor in the room died for a second, just long enough for him to smirk and turn back to the screen. That night after he left, I tried to talk to her. "Melissa, he's too involved in our lives. Don't you see it?" She sighed, eyes rolling. "You're overreacting again. Bradley's like family. Not everything is a threat, Stephen." Her words cut deeper than she realized. I wasn't jealous. I was lonely. Lonely inside my own relationship. The next morning, I found a sticky note on the fridge in Bradley's handwriting. "Borrowed your French press. Will return later." My hands trembled as I held it. He helped himself to my things, to our things. That evening, I stood by the window, watching the city lights blink in silence while Melissa laughed on the phone, her voice soft, tender, the way it used to be with me. I wanted to believe it was still just friendship, but deep inside, I felt the first quiet fracture in something I thought was unbreakable. For the first time, I realized I wasn't losing her. I had already lost her. It was supposed to be an ordinary Friday night out, a few drinks with friends after work, but fate rarely warns you before it rewrites your life. Bradley was already drunk when I arrived. He threw an arm around my shoulder and slurred, "You're a lucky man, Stephen. Melissa's one in a million." I smiled politely, though I'd begun to question that very statement. As the night deepened, his voice turned reckless. "You ever do something stupid, Stephen? Something that'd ruin everything if your wife found out?" I laughed awkwardly. "Can't say I have." He leaned closer, eyes glazed. "Well, I did. Alina must never know." Something in his tone made my stomach twist. "What are you talking about?" I asked. He smirked, lowering his voice. "Let's just say, I crossed a line with someone I shouldn't have. Married men make mistakes too." Then he laughed, a low, smug laugh that crawled under my skin. I said nothing, but I knew that kind of secret never stays buried. 2 days later, when Melissa called asking if I could extend my upcoming business trip by another day, a faint unease stirred in me. "It's just 2 days," she said sweetly. "I'll miss you, but I'll be fine." I wanted to believe her. I truly did. But Bradley's words haunted me the entire drive home. He had confessed something dark, something I didn't yet understand. And deep down, I knew it was tied to her. What I didn't realize then was how his drunken confession would become the key, the one that unlocked every lie Melissa had tried to hide. I returned from my 2-day business trip to find Melissa humming in the kitchen, acting far too cheerful. Something about her felt staged. Her phone buzzed twice, and she snatched it up before I could glance at the screen. "Who's that?" I asked. "Just work," she said too quickly. That night, while she showered, I noticed her phone lighting up again. This time, curiosity overpowered restraint. I opened the messages, and the world stopped. "Bradley, miss you already. Those 2 nights weren't enough." "Melissa, he's back tomorrow. I can't believe what we did." I stood there frozen, every word burning itself into my memory. My chest tightened until I could barely breathe. My best friend, my girlfriend, together, while I was gone. When she came out, towel around her shoulders, she saw the phone in my hand and went pale. "Stephen, I can explain." "Explain what?" I said, my voice breaking. That while I was working, you were in his bed? Tears welled in her eyes. It was a mistake. Enough? My voice was quiet now, deadly calm. You planned this. Both of you. She sobbed, reaching for me, but I stepped back. You've got it all wrong. Bradley got confused. He was writing to another woman, not me, she whispered. The next morning, they texted me, demanding I apologize to Bradley for hurting his feelings when I asked him to stay out of my apartment. That was the final insult. I agreed to their demand, though my hands trembled with fury. They thought they'd humiliate me. They had no idea that I now held the truth, and soon, the entire world would hear it. The evening of the so-called apology dinner arrived draped in quiet malice. Bradley and Melissa had demanded I apologize to him in front of his wife, Alina, to prove my respect. I agreed, but not for their satisfaction. That night, truth would finally speak. When I entered Bradley's immaculate house, tension hung thicker than perfume. Alina welcomed us politely, unaware of the storm about to tear her life apart. Melissa squeezed my hand, too tightly, too rehearsed. Bradley leaned back smug, his arm casually slung over the chair as if he already owned the outcome. Go on, Stephen, Melissa urged. Say what you came to say. I nodded slowly, my phone already recording. You're right. I owe someone an apology, I said, turning not to Bradley, but to Alina. Her brows knit in confusion. Me? Yes, I said softly. For not telling you sooner what your husband's been doing behind your back. I laid my phone on the table, opening the folder of screenshots. Melissa's color drained instantly. Bradley froze. Text messages filled the screen, his drunken words, her replies, dates that matched my business trip. A silence so deep followed that even the clock seemed afraid to tick. Alina's voice broke at last, shaking. Bradley, these are your messages? He stammered. It's not. She's lying. Don't. I cut him off. I was gone for 48 hours. You spent 47 of them with her. Melissa burst into tears, grabbing my arm. Stephen, please, don't do this here. Where else? I asked, stepping back. You both built this in public. You can watch it collapse the same way. Alina rose, trembling but fierce. Get out, she said, not to me, but to him. Both of you. As I left, the sound of Melissa's sobs followed me into the cold night, sharp, raw, and strangely cleansing. Weeks turned into months, and silence became my truest companion. Melissa vanished from my life, her job gone, her reputation ruined. Bradley lost everything in the divorce. Alina took the house, the car, and the last pieces of his pride. Justice, it seemed, had a quiet way of finding balance. One crisp autumn evening, I saw Alina again at a bookstore cafe. She looked different, free. When she noticed me, her lips curved into a gentle smile. Stephen, she said softly, I wasn't sure I'd ever see you again. I hesitated, then sat across from her. I didn't plan to, but maybe fate wanted closure. She nodded, her eyes glistening. Closure or a new beginning. We spoke for hours, not about the ones who betrayed us, but about the people we were learning to become. The pain was still there, yes, but it no longer owned us. As we stepped outside, the wind scattered crimson leaves around our feet. She looked at me and whispered, maybe the ruins were meant to show us where to rebuild. I smiled. Then let's start there. And for the first time in months, the night didn't feel heavy. It felt like hope. Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.